All right, guys. Hello, hello. Um, I'm Stacy. I have created a training on what to do next once you have booked a trip with your clients. A lot of times booking the trip is sort of the easy part, and now is the part where we have to hold ourselves accountable for what needs to happen after. So booking is the beginning, not the finish line. After the trip is booked, our jobs shift to support communication, organization, and client care. So what should we do once we book a trip? We want to make sure that we celebrate the booking, both online and in real life. I like to congratulate the client and thank them for their booking. If they allow me to make a social media post, I ask if I can tag them in the post so that I am reaching them and all of their friends and followers. I also like to send a handwritten thank you card to their house, just as an extra touch point, and it's a really personalized feeling that I'm taking the time to send them something. And that seems to be well received from people. They like to see that because it's not often that we receive a handwritten note anymore, right? We live in a very digital world. So to have them actually have a thank you card, it really means a lot to them. And the whole name of the after booking game is we want to have those touch points that we are staying in communication with them. And that's just the initial thank you note that I like to send. The next we have to do, we need to review the details of their booking. And this just happened with me yesterday. So we want to make sure we're double checking that the names match the passports and IDs. Always ask for a copy of their passport. Always ask for a copy of their photo ID because we need to make sure that the names are exactly the same on the ID as it is on their reservation. If there's even a letter off, it could result in them not being able to fly. It could result in them not being able to check into the resort. We need to make sure that we are checking the spelling, dates of birth, all of that. I actually booked a cruise for somebody yesterday and I was reviewing the documents afterwards and I realized that I had a typo on one of the passengers' birth dates. So I had to call the cruise line and have them change it for me. So make sure you're reviewing everything, even after it's booked, so that you can make changes. Check their room category. Make sure that they're booked into a room that is appropriate for them. This is also an important reminder when you are booking cruises, especially because you don't want to put them below the Lido deck, right? Because they'll hear chairs moving all night long. You don't want to put them below the nightclub if they're light sleepers or they like to go to bed early. So make sure you're checking the room categories. Double check their flights and transfers. Make sure everything is lined up, that the times are lined up. Payment schedule. Make sure that you are aware of when final payment dates are due. And any special requests if they have dietary needs or ability needs where you need to now ask them if they need to get like a motorized scooter rental or if they need anything like that, any special dietary, gluten-free, or those are things that you want to review with the client so that you can make any changes necessary. We want to send confirmations, emails, and reminders of all of the elements that we are booking for them. So the trip summary, make sure that they get a copy of the confirmation, the flight info, hotel check-in times. Those are going to be important for them. Make sure that you're noting important dates, the dates that a deposit is due, the final payment is due, the airline check-in date. Especially if you're not the one handling those, you want to make sure that you're letting your client know that they need to check in. Cancellation policies, make sure that you're providing them with each supplier that you book with because they all have different policies. Make sure that they are aware of all of those. And then travel insurance, you can provide your tin leg link if you haven't included any supplier options. This is also a good time for you to share your Viator or Project Expedition links, because it's a great opportunity for that upsell, right? We send them all of the confirmation and say your trip is booked. Now, why don't you take a look at some shore excursions? You're getting to Fort Lauderdale the day before your cruise, so why don't we set you up for a sunset cruise dinner or anything like that? Those are the ways that you can upsell and make more commission for yourself. Always recommend travel insurance, right? They don't need it until they need it. I always like to keep it clear, keep it simple. Travel insurance can help protect against unexpected cancellations, medical issues, delays, lost luggage, and life just happens moments. I always give this example we've been on multiple cruises, and we have seen several people that have had to be taken off of the ship via a helicopter from the Coast Guard. That is automatically going to run a person at least $30,000. And I don't know about you, but I don't have $30,000 just laying around in case something happens. Having a travel insurance policy will cover those expenses for them. That's just one example. We've seen people that have fallen down the stairs walking from floor to floor in a cruise ship, and somebody bang their knee up real bad. You never know what can happen, right? Travel insurance is very important. They're spending thousands of dollars on their vacation. Doesn't it make sense to spend a couple extra hundred more to make sure that you get your money back if something should happen? All right, sending payment reminders. These are things that you need to track. Deposits and payment plans. Each supplier will be different, and it depends on how many days out the vacation is booked. Many times, if we are able to book with just a deposit, then we can make a payment plan for the client to be able to make smaller payments leading up to that final payment due date. Not all vacations are going to be allowing that type of payment. So you need to educate yourself on what that supplier is offering for dates and make sure that you stick to it, and set up little reminders for yourself that you need to reach out to your client. I have a CRM that I use that I can set up automations. Set up those automations to automatically remind you. Put a note in your calendar so that it notifies you of what you need to do and when. And always be aware of this different supplier deadlines. Like I said, everybody's going to be different. You could be booking a cruise and their final payment date is due in October, but their flights and pre-cruise hotel might be due 60 days in advance rather than 90 days. You never know. So make sure you check each supplier and make sure that you are touching point with your clients on those important dates, and follow up if you haven't heard anything. Again, this is your responsibility to track those reminders and to make sure that those final payment dates are being made. Because if they're not, the client's vacation could be canceled, and then you look like the dumb agent. We don't want that to happen. So make sure that you're setting up those reminders for yourself. All right. After that, we want to prepare our client for where they're going. Send them some helpful information. This is where you become the travel advisor, not just the travel agent. Send them helpful info like packing tips, passport and documentation reminders. Have them download apps and teach them how to check into their cruise lines, or even their flights. You can teach them how to do that. Excursion suggestions. Again, another great opportunity for you to share your affiliate links. Send them excursion suggestions through Viator or Project Expedition. Give them tips on dining and reservations, how to make those reservations once they board the ship, or if they can do it beforehand. And then read up on the destination that they're going to. Give them tips for whatever islands they might be visiting, or if they're going to an all-inclusive in Cancun, read up on things to do in Cancun that have a small budget, a medium budget, a large budget. Give them different opportunities for them to see the places that they're going to. That's where they're going to be making their memories, and they're going to know that you are the one who helped get them there. And the whole idea is for them to build the trust with you and have them keep coming back. So if you're giving them pertinent information that they might not necessarily have found on their own, that's going to make you look like their hero, and they're going to come back. So we need to make sure that we're always preparing our clients for what their vacation is going to look like. You can even give them a short, like a minimalized itinerary, right? So you'll arrive at the airport at this time. When you get to Cancun, walk past all the vendors and head right on out to the shuttle stations. That's where you'll find your van that will take you directly to the hotel. You know, those are things that are going to be important to them, and it helps them feel at ease once they get to their destination. So they don't have to worry about, oh my God, I'm landing in Mexico, I'm in a foreign country, and I don't know what I'm doing now. So make sure that you're preparing them for their travel. And always stay in touch. You want to stay in touch, but you don't want to be pushy. You don't want to be hovering, right? Some suggested touch points that I recommend: always after the booking, you want to reach out to them. Before final payment, 30 days before travel, 1 week before travel, on the travel day, and when they get home. So I always send a reminder about their final payment date coming up. 30 days before travel, I send another email just as a little touch point and say, hey, if you haven't booked any excursions, now's a great time to do that. 1 week before travel, I send off another email and give them their packing checklist. Make sure that they have their passports and important documentation. I usually send them a little goodie bag that has some little tchotchke things from me. I like to do that the week before they leave. On travel day, I send them a text message in the morning and say, safe travels today. If you need anything, reach out to me so that I can help. And then when they get home, I have a form that I send everybody as their review of their vacation. What did you think about the vacation? What did you think about the hotel or cruise line? Was there anything special that made your trip most memorable to you? Was there anything that happened that you weren't happy with? The cleanliness of where you stayed, the customer service of where you stayed. And I always ask them what they thought about the service that Staceyface Travels provided to them. And would they be willing to book with me again and refer me to their friends? That's my important information that I want to hear about when they get home. That way I can sort of find out about that hotel that they stayed at. Maybe if they had a bad experience, that might not be someplace that I would recommend a family to go. Maybe it's more geared towards adults and there wasn't a lot for the kids to do. Maybe it's something that I need to reach out to the resort before they get there and make sure that everything is okay. Getting that feedback when they get home is really important. It helps It helps all of my future clients and helps me be a better travel agent. Always be supportive, but don't be a stalker. We are travel advisors, not vacation hall monitors, right? So when they return, we want to follow up. I always follow up with a welcome home message, ask how the trip went, ask if they can send me a couple photos from their trip and if they'd be willing to complete my review link, and always ask about future travel. That's what we want, right? So always follow up with them once they return. And then our goal, always, we want clients for life, right? We don't want a one-off client. We want people who will keep coming back to us and who will refer us to their friends and family. So great service after the booking helps build trust. It helps gain referrals, repeat clients, and raving fans. And that is exactly what we are looking for. And like I say here, the trip may be booked, but the relationship is just getting started. It is more about what we do once the trip is booked that is going to leave that impression. Anybody can book a trip. They can go to carnival.com and book that cruise. It's the things after the booking that are going to make the most lasting impression for them and why they want to keep coming back to you. All right. So I hope that was helpful information for you guys. I'd be interested to hear if you have anything else that you would like to add to this. Be sure to like and follow the video and comment below. What are your thoughts on this training? Is there anything that you would add that you like to do for your clients? We really want to know what your thoughts are on that. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.